good with y'all? I'm out wearing my signature. Where my signature at? Where my signature at? We gotta come complete with the gear. We're not ready without the gear. Where my signature at? Where my signature at? Hold on. We're back. Yeah, sure. We got the signature on. Schnoz, what's good with you, man? Hope you're doing well, man. Hey, you been playing? You been playing this game? Ain't gonna lie, like, you know, I ain't really been, you know, my soul is being reinvigorated. New phase is also telling. But if you get masters, you get that if you get masters. You get the thing if you get masters, I guess. I mean, let's lose some points, yeah. Let's lose some points online. I've been going insane, bro. Ranked mines are killing me. You know, the whole thing is that number one, let me put it this way. If you want to fight the upper echelon, a new season is where you get that chance. If you want to play where you're actually at and incrementally grow from there, then just wait a couple days, maybe in a week. Everyone will rise up or whatever, and then you'll be good. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be jumping in this game like a jump frog because I've been playing a bunch of things, man, where you have the movement, where you have the options. This game, back there on the ground, back there on the ground. I want to wave that. I want to move, man. Back to the ground. Back to the ground we go. Yay! Son. bro. Come on. I tried the JD just now. My brain hasn't come around. My mind really wanted to do that. My mind really wanted to do that, you know? Yeah. Son, I feel so grounded right now. I feel so grounded right now. I really do feel mad grounded right now. Oh, you went for it. Nice. Am I dead? No. I feel so grounded. I feel like a wet noodle. I really do feel like a wet noodle. What am I supposed to... Oh my god. When I say like I feel like a wet noodle. Bro. Yeah, I've been good, man. Bro, I literally feel like a wet noodle. I'm like, I'm literally, That's how I feel right now. Like, wow. All right, I can only back roll. Oh yeah, listen. You did what on Wake Up? Wow.
Oh my god, I can't do this. I can't do this. My mind, man, my mind. Oh my gosh, I'm dead. I'm dead. I feel like a wet noodle. No, like it's more so like I felt more agency. I don't have agency. That is the main feeling I'm feeling right now. I feel like I'm just here. That's what I feel like. If that makes sense, it feels like I'm just existing. I don't know. It's just like, you know, I don't know how to explain it to you. Maybe I'll feel a little bit better if I play my main. Maybe, I don't know. I just feel, ugh. This is really bad. Nah, guys, it's really bad. Like, I truly can't play. Maybe I have to warm up to the game. I have to warm up to the game again. Yo. Yo, I feel like a wet noodle just existing right now. Yo. Because I'm just like, I got hit. Driver. Like, I don't know, man. You don't. You can't even. You don't even have. You don't even have. Like. It doesn't feel great. Hold on. It really doesn't feel great. So. I really need to warm up to this game because my goodness. Oh my gosh, it feels like ugh. Like it just how do I explain this? It feels like it feels like 2 years is just gone. Like I don't feel like doing this anymore, you know? I don't know how to explain it. You didn't DP? I forgot you can't even really move. You can't move. I want to wave dash. I want to wave dash. Like, so, I just want to move. I just want to move. I just want to move. I want to move, bro. I want to move. I'm sorry. It's not doing it for me, bro. And Drive Rush doesn't do it for me, bro. Yo. Son. Like, I can't. I can't. This life is so boring. This is so boring. I'm sorry, I can't, bro. This is. Oh my gosh, this is so. Oh, Lord of mercy. I just want to move, bro.
want to move, bro. I don't want to just have to press buttons the entire time, bro. I don't want to do this. Like, I get it. Like, that's what you're supposed to do. But, like, I want to move, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm dead. I don't know why he keeps using this option. I got hit by low for a dry brush. Yo, son. I'm sorry. I don't want to play this. Yo, son. I'm sorry. This is. Yo. Like, when I say that, like, when I say just like lovely, lovely. I love the fact that you can control. Oh, it's happening. Oh, it happened. It happened. Oh, it happened. Hey, I want to move, bro. Just choosing decisions over and over again. It's just like I'm trying to be the positive. Right? I'm trying to be, oh my goodness, that's exactly what I wanted. I'm dead, aren't I? Oh, I was definitely dead though. I was definitely dead. Wow. I was definitely dead. If he timed that right, there was actually nothing I could have done. Yeah. Come on, you know you want to. Oh my gosh. Nice. This game is, I'm sorry, bro. Now you burst out? Not really. Not really like what you can do, you know what I mean? Not really much I can do. Again. You know, sometimes listen, sometimes we're kind of, you know what I mean? Stop. You know, sometimes, hey man,
Oh, I'm dead. Please. Yeah. Fun times. Fun times. Yes. Yo, I just want to rush at my opponent. You know, sometimes we want to just rush at our opponents. Sometimes we want to do so. Yo, son. I mean, like, I'm slowly but surely starting to get used to it, but like, you really had movement options and everything. Son, I don't understand why you keep doing that decision. It's not a good one. Oh. Um. Mm, you know, sometimes. I ain't gonna lie, sometimes you're kind of like, okay. I don't know, man. I don't know. I want to move. Like, I truly want movement options. Wow. Yep. I'm not gonna guess right the entire time, huh? I am dead. Smile. I'm saying I be brother, you can't move. Street Fighter sucks. Ah! Like I don't want to be that person, but holy smokes, you can't do nothing, bro. Like you're just supposed to walk around, and they think this is the epitome of fighting games, and like it just makes me sad because there's so many other fighting games that are so much better than this. You know, like there's so many better games than this, bro. Some that have actual movement options, man. And you can only tech backwards. Why? You know, you're forced to literally just... Okay, that shouldn't hit. You know, like, I wish that we had more options. Like, we can only tech one way. Perfect parry doesn't feel like a skill expression. Feels like an option, right? Like... I forgot that you can't jab it, bro. Anti-air jabs don't work. Of course. Tuesday, huh? It might be a yikes. It might be a yikes. I ain't gonna lie to you, it might be a yikes. I can't move, bro. Dog. Dog. I can't move. Can we talk about this for a second? Like, this is tough, bro. Yo, yikes. I think this is worth talking about because for some reason, Street Fighter has always been like the pinnacle of where you should be and walking back and forth and true neutral footsies. And I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of boo boo. Like, is this fun? Doing this? Is it fun? No expert movement. Just this. You know, like, this is fun. You know, like, this is fun the entire time. You know, like, this is fun. Like, this is where we're at now. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Like, this ain't it. I think that oh my goodness, it's loud. I think that I love fighting games. Let me be completely honest right now. I love fighting games. Street Fighter, I love a fighting game. I love a good fighting game, bro. I feel like it feels like the wool over my eyes that Street Fighter is kind of just dissipated when City of the Wolves came out. This might be a glazed thing, but really peep. Like, this is fun. This is fun. You know? Like, this is your mix? This is your king? This is your giant? You know what I mean? No extra movement. Or if you jump, you know, if you decide to jump, I don't know what it was on. If you decide to jump, you get caught, like, and then oh my gosh, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, but this isn't it. Maybe this makes me a bad person, and then maybe I'll lose all my subscribers and everything, but this is not it. This is not where the story ends. This can't be where the story ends, man. I'm sorry, but like, I think one of the biggest problems in SF6 is the gigantic block boxes. They weren't as big in the beta, so giant moves don't lock you down. Like, no, I think the issue is that there's no room for expression and movement. Everything you do what the game tells you to do. What do I mean by that? Like, you're supposed to block, right? Off of this instance, you block, you do driver's jab. After the driver's jab, you go for your pressure, right? You're supposed to do this, right? You don't deviate from this. You don't deviate from this, right? You have a set game plan and you're supposed to follow it to the letter. Now, obviously, you add a couple tweaks in here and there depending on your opponent, but it's so static. If I'm playing the game, I'm playing the game a specific way. If I can't be one who just even flips or who does an option that's different, right? I can't be that player, right? I keep thinking that kicks is my DP input because I play with Preacher, but this can't be the end of it. You know what I mean? Like, you're supposed to do this into a kill. Like,
And then the biggest amount of expression we got is like doing a feint, like special move into a feint. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how I'm supposed to like internalize this personally, but I feel like where the game is, you play the way the game wants you to play. You don't deviate from that. You start deviating from that, you start losing points. You know what I mean? Or losing games. However you want to see it. The more you deviate away from that, that's how you'll be seen. That is kind of where my issue lies. I don't know. I'm trying to think about how this can potentially be like a better situation, but I don't know. It just feels like you're in a box. Like, what you're supposed to do is what you're supposed to do. You deviate away from that, then you start struggling. Doesn't matter if situation's going good, bad, whatever have you, but I don't know. You kind of do your own thing. There's not really room for you to do what you want. You know what I mean? If it were like that, I feel like it might be a better situation as a whole. But as of right now, I don't feel that way. The guy that fixes into the skill expression argument, being forced to stop and block a punch that leads into a throw, it feels incredibly bad, especially with it. Yeah, fair enough. They used to, proximity guard used to be a lot worse though. It's a little bit better in this game. I don't know, man. This game, while I want it to be something great, I don't know. Now maybe the whole maybe it gets a little bit, maybe it'll get a little bit better when we get to the patch, right? Bro, it just feels like everything is just like, you know, you gotta block out the situation. You gotta hold this. You know? Then off it is, we go for this, right? And if you want to switch it up, we go for a normal or whatever have you. You're in a box. It's very, you know, you're right. It's just, number one, the hitboxes. Number two, you play a very flowchart-esque style, and you can't deviate it from that. Because you start trying to be different, then you get interesting. You found my channel about 10 minutes ago. I swear I've seen your name around though. 10 minutes ago, instantly subbed. Awesome stuff, man. Love the energy and passion. Listen, I do love fighting games and I love helping people. If you do have any questions right now or anything you want me to go over, feel free to ask. I can do that right now. I got some free time, you know what I mean? I'm doing my thing. Currently I was just going over the state of SF6. Like, it just feels, if I could be me, you know? Like, I think that's the thing. I feel like I can't be me. But, you know? If I felt like more so, like, you know what I mean? I can show off what I like to do. There are things you can do, there are things you can't do. And you can't do those things that you can't do. If that sounds convoluted, but that's essentially what the point, right? There are things you can do, like fan here, right? There are things we obviously can do, but things that we can't do because they're so overtly punishable, like charging their face like this because they're just gonna press a button on you, then it starts to become a little bit more of an issue, right? Becomes a lot harder for you to play the way you want to play. You can't do things that are technically fake because anything that's fake gets blown up and gets blown up very hard. It feels very stifling in its nature, right? You're supposed to press this, but you're only supposed to press it once unless you go for the XDP, but you're not supposed to do that because that's a little bit more random. There are options you're supposed to use. While you're in this range, you press a little bit more of heavy buttons. You might want to walk in the range. Everything is like so set down in the flowchart heavy nature that it makes it very hard to be distinct. Does your character have options against it? My character does. Doesn't matter because you're -3 off of the first hit here. You're -3. Off of right here, you're -3. Notice how she's -3, right? Off of the first hit when it bounces. Oh, -2? No, -3. Right? Off of -3, she's -3 here. The problem is if you don't press the correct button off of the case, you just get hit afterwards, right? So like if you try to press down light kick, you get hit. However, if you have a normal that goes far enough forward, well, that button works. I didn't mean to use that button, but right, if you have a button that goes far enough forward, you can put them in a situation that's pretty. Now the thing is that you gotta keep in mind what the -3 means for the entire situation, right? You can also I can also try and do that as well, right? But that's neither here nor there. Keep in mind what this means, right? So that means even if I go for a jab here, like I'm mashing crouch jab here, right, immediately afterwards, at most they get a trade. But even then, look at the situation off the trade, right? I'm still +6. +6 means I get a trade combo. Now, if you can find whatever this is for your character, it significantly mitigates the situation. Right? This is one of the situations that you got to keep in mind, is because if she's -3 here and you have a forward advancing move, then you can take advantage of it. Now, we can do a little bit of exploring. I don't know if you're still on your Guile hunt or you're on your JP thing, but I think low forward might be a decent enough option. How much is it? 9 frames? Nah, you'll get interrupted. She's gonna bounce back and you're gonna get hit. Well, let's try some options, see what happens. So low forward can get interrupted, or what? Excuse me. Yeah, it can get interrupted, but depending on if they gotta hit it right. Right? But that's a normal that can interrupt them. Let's see. Stand light kick. You're +23 off of the instance, so you can still potentially get a route off of it. Kind of crazy how that is. Okay, I don't think you have a move. That's tragic. And you just get hit outright, huh? That is tragic. But generally, that's what we're looking for, right? We're looking for a move that can at least force a situation like this, right? Another option, obviously, a definite risk. I'm not understating the fact that it's a risk, because if they go for an option, you can also try and force a trade with sweep. Now, obviously, for very obvious reasons, you can actually get yourself blown up for this, right? You can get yourself blown up for this, but yeah, generally you don't have options. You do not have options here. It is one of those unfortunate things that you're just going to have to take. Tough frames gonna get interrupted. It's kind of a beautiful thing, you know? when you really get down to it, it's kind of a beautiful thing. Now, this is only if they don't press anything, so you can kind of get away with the situation. Now then, some characters may have answers, other characters will not have answers. So in the case that you do not have answers, you are going to have to roulette. And if you have to roulette, unfortunately, the options that you have available to you are as follows. Let's see here. Right, when backdashing, you do have to still block the fireball. However, it makes it a little bit easier for you in the situation at hand. Right, unless they go for this, right? Even then, when you go for this option, right? With a back medium punch. Back medium. You'll still get trade, as in like you'll hit them. Wait, how much is this? 8 minus 3. No, I think it still loses. But mind you, this has to be in the mind's favor. This has to be in the mind's toolkit to do something like this, right? If the Mai is not pressing crouch jab and presses anything other than that, then they don't get anything, right? And because this doesn't reach as far as it needs to, right? You don't get any actual. Now they still keep their turn afterwards, but you still technically don't get anything. Now this is all dependent on whether or not they go for this option or not, right? We'll love your 2 cents on how you would go about when you're willing to delay, tech, wrist shimmy, or even delay button to see if you have a window to take your turn back. Let's see how you would go about when you're willing to delay, tech, risk, shimmy, or even delay buttons to see. She is so, yeah, almost feels like playing against Guile. Yeah, she's supposed to be like a kind of like a Guile-less character. All right, so Goji, I assume like when are you willing to risk it? When it comes to my mindset, when are you willing to risk it? I think when starting off a game, what you'll do is that you'll start off the game not willing to tech or anything like that, right? You'll start off the game not willing to tech. You start to see their patterns and habits, and you make a decision based on their patterns and habits. But automatically starting a game assuming that your opponent is going to like throw tech or assuming that your opponent's going to try and delay tech. Go for a throw, see if they like to delay tech. Go for a second throw, right? Just doing it once is not going to guarantee whether or not they know, or whether or not they do it on habit or they just did it as a one-off situation. Once we know it's more than a one-off situation, okay, we can work with that knowledge. Now I know that the shimmy game is going to work against you. Once I'm at that point, whoa, why am I playing? Is it because I'm not ranked? Why am I playing against a thing? Once you know what you're looking for, can you enter here? Oh, you can. Look at that. Wake up. Yeah, once you know that you know what you're looking for, then you're like, okay, let me make adaptations. So if I know that they're delay teching, that's when I'll go for an option. I can chill. I ain't gonna space here. I'm chilling. Okay. Cool. messed it up. Okay, I'm gonna jump again. I should not be playing, but it's fun. You go to super or something? That's not a good choice. Oh, you went for it again. Well, look at that, huh? Look at that. Oh, that was actually the correct option here. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. But yeah, once you know what you're looking for, then you'll automatically make the right decisions, or like not make the right decisions. You automatically start to see where their offense lies and how they decide to do things. I see. I go live, so unbelievably bored. Sometimes I technically did the right thing. Oh yeah, I'm not awake to the game. I'm dead. Oh my god, that's why! I was wondering why my presses weren't working. That's fine, I'm not really tripping. Oh, bro. Like, after that situation, that's why. Nah, I really don't want to try. And I don't even really want to even sit up, to be honest. So this is where things called adaptation start kicking in, where I see what the opponent's habits are. Right, and then after their habits, I start blowing up each of their habits. Like, for instance, they don't want me close to them. He also doesn't really go for throw. Ew, this really bad habit. The fact that that worked, but that's on me. That's gonna kill me. Bro has really bad habits. And I don't answer. That's the other aspect too. I'm not answering, and I'm letting him DI me for free. He's getting away pretty much everything. Is also another bad habit of his. I just spun, and of course, he's very. Why on God's green earth am I getting counter hit? What is happening with my inputs? Apparently. You know what? You got it. You got it. I might actually have to put a semblance of effort against this matchup because I forgot this character is lovely. I'm playing like an absolute moron, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not answering a single thing. Okay. Word. Let's tighten up for a second. Let's tighten up for a second. Let's tighten up for a second. Hold on. That's fine. No, busy. Oh, is that counter hitting me? Why is that working? Dog. I suck. Apparently, I suck. You know what? You're right. You're right. You know what? You're right. It's me. You're right. It's me. Apparently, I forgot. I forgot. It's me. I'm the one who forgot. Apparently, when I go for options, you're right. It's me. It's me. You're right. 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 It's me. It's me. Apparently, I can't believe what. Brother, I'm feeling a wave of my goodness. I can't. I'm feeling a big wave of my goodness. I'm getting a little. I'm doing preacher things, man. I'm doing preacher things. I am doing preacher things, and it's annoying the living smoke out of me. I know I'm actually dead. Oh man. Let me press the button. I can't. I don't want to play this game. Oh, son, I don't want to play. I want to move, bro. I just want to be able to move. Today's not a good day. Also, this matchup sucks, but this neither here nor there. Dog, you're not, brother. My brother in Christ, you're not supposed to mash there. Brother in Christ, please. This is not a matchup I'll play. Press back from the game. You know what? I forgot my own character. Yep, really I can do about those type of jumps. Oh, brother, my brother in Christ, he's whipping. I'm pressing something and like he just keeps killing. Oh, it's just like whatever, man. I don't care. Yeah. My answer. For the life of me, I'm not entering. He goes for that option.
Pressing things. I'm pressing the wrong things. My brother in Christ, that is not supposed to be working. Let me stop him. Let me interrupt him. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. My options is not interrupting him. They should be interrupting his options because it's not even supposed to work, brother. My brother in Christ. Just started, but I got the bug. I love it. Any advice on how you should manage your time? Learn each skill one by, well, like obviously you'll try to encompass everything at once, right? Stop it. My brother in Christ, please save me from this. That's that. Like, what don't you understand? My brother in Christ, you can't keep mashing like this. Oh my god. Oh my god. You're so bad. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. I can't handle this. I can't handle this right now. Dog. It's as simple as meaty. It's as simple as that. It's truly as simple as that. He's mad. That's how you. You're it. Sorry, my fault. I'm reminded of the times where I was learning this game. I'm reminded of the times I was learning this game. And I got back medium punch instead of crouching heavy punch, even though I pressed down back. So I'm reminded of the times where I was learning this game. During those times, I was reminded that against opponents that don't know what they're doing, you simply have to keep it simple. When I mean keep things simple, I mean just really, but the most annoying part of this matchup is the fact that he can just kind of do that the entire time. Like, that's the most annoying part because my 7-framer, I don't want to do this anymore. Oh my god. Because here's the thing, here's my thing, like, I'm doing the correct thing. Let me show you what I mean. When I'm doing the correct thing, I'm not seeing it because I have a 7-framer. So then the level of area, how do I put this? The margin for error is fairly small because I'm using the 7-framer. What do I mean by this? Let's look at the last situation there, right? It's a situation that's come up quite a bit. But simply because my button's a 7-framer, that's why I'm in this predicament. That's why it's particularly jarring. Also, I have not played this game since City of the Wolves came out. But no one will ever believe me because that sounds like an OS, but that's neither here nor there. Right, let's look at this final situation here. Now, granted, I'm already playing off a tilt.
right? Presses that, presses, right? That's not what I want. Let's suppose off of this instance here, right? Oh, it's already coming out. This is too early. Okay, let's suppose in this instance, like I said, this is what's supposed to happen, right? But because I'm still operating off of thing timing, the old game timing, this is what's supposed to happen, right? That's why I'm feeling particularly annoyed, right? Not for a lack of what I couldn't do, but it's just like when I get into these situations, like when I say that I have the answers, I have the correct answer, I'm just getting counter hit. Unfortunate, whatever, I lost, it is what it is. Shameful as it may be, whatever it is, but when I'm doing the correct option and it's not coming out, it can be quite jarring for me, right? Because this puts me in this situation here, right? And he's dead. But this is all off of the knowledge that if you can make 3 universal system mechanic changes, what would they be? I don't know, man. I think the game's cooked. I've come into a game where I realize like there are games that have actual options and don't just kind of gatekeep you from options. You feel like hard capped based on matchup. It doesn't. So like, hold on. Where's my epic pen at? My biggest thing about this game currently, we are just having a terrible day today. I'm not gonna lie to you. My biggest, let's say this is the ceiling, okay? Oh, sorry, the floor. Right? Let's say this is the floor. I don't know why the R looked crazy. Let's say this is the floor, right? I feel like in this game, the matchup, based on the matchup, it covers this much percent of the game. Let's say the ceiling is here, right? The matchup covers about this percent. Now, this doesn't mean that player expression, your player expression, has to be this high, right? In order for this plus luck, in order to get this outcome. That's how I feel about the game currently. If this makes sense to you. The matchup matters so much more. And if you're going to win, you're going to have to play out your mind. You can't make mistakes. You can't make errors. Because error means you lose. So what changes would I make? It's just like I'm if I'm being honest right now, as of right now, yes. Goji, if I'm being honest right now, yes. It's because when you experience other games, right? Because I love fighting games, I love teaching people. I love those two things. I love fighting games, I love teaching people things, right? Love those two things. This game, if I have a fire for the game, I want to learn as much as possible. But in this game, there's a hard cap. Like if I watch a game, I know what happened. I know what you're supposed to do, right? In the macro, there's a lot of things in the micro that you have to be concerned about while playing the game. But those things are all centered around a singular mechanic, right? It doesn't feel like it's in your hands. So let me give you an example, right? In City of the Wolves, they make the just defense option a little bit more lenient. So what does that mean? Just Defense is akin to this game's parry system. So what does that mean? That means that if they make it a little bit lenient from the 3 to 4, I forgot, it's 3 or 4 frames. The 3 to 4 frame window for the parry, perfect parry, versus the leniency of 7 frames, which is a pretty big difference, right? It allows you to make a change on defense. Let me pose it to you like this. When you tap parry, how confident are you you're gonna get a perfect parry? Reality is you're not that confident. You're tapping it, right? You're not sure, you don't know, you might get it, you might not. And let's say you do, right? Let's say you do get the let's say you do get the perfect parry. Like here, if I go for it, I don't know whether or not I'm gonna get it. Right? Then if I do get it, I get 10 seconds and a half to think about how I want to punish. Right? It feels cheap. Right? It feels like, is it 3? Is it 2? I thought it was 3. But it feels cheap. I don't know if I'm going to get it. Meanwhile, if I practice it in City of the Wolves, it feels more confident. I feel more confident in going for that option because I feel like I'm actually going to get it. In this game, it doesn't feel like I'm going to get it. Now, the issue with this is that when you're on defense and you're blocking something, the main thing about this game is that the more you block, right? The more you block, the more drive gauge you lose. Gave you a little kind of, granted, you can get a little bit better at it. And I'm not saying you can't get better at it, but because it's anywhere between a 2-3 window, there's only so much you can actually improve on this, right? You can see time and time again, this happens even with the pros. They tap it, they're not sure they'll get it. If they get it, cool, let me get the whole combo, right? In City of the Wolves, when you just defend, you're confident that you're going to go for it, and when you go for it, there's a certain level of risk that comes along with it, right? Even when it comes to hyper defend, in order to get hyper defend, it's similar to just defend, but you got to press forward in order to get it in a block string. It makes you feel like the agency on defense is yours, and your opponent has to play around your defense, and they have to play around their offense. It feels more give and take. In this game, right? This game, we're looking for an opportunity to drive rush. That's what we're looking for. Think I'm lying? No worries. It may be that I'm on my game's cap arc, but come check out what I'm saying. Hold on. Where my there it is. So come check out what I'm saying. Okay, when they go for an option, the round starts. Okay, we're playing neutral. Essentially, what we're looking for is our hit in order to drive rush. Drive rush jab. Now it's guess, strike, or throw, right? We're looking for the instance that we can drive rush jab. Okay, now we've done this instance. They're forced into a situation where the agency is not really theirs, right? They either go for parry and try to beat the button, or they try to go for parry, try to beat the button, or they just try to block out the situation, right? They could try to tech, but the thing about teching is that you might get blown up for it and might put you in a worse situation, blah blah blah. Right? Cool. I might just be in my hater arc. Maybe when season 3 drop I might feel better, but right? So then he decided to go for an option, got hit. Then, next instance, right? Afterwards, whiffs a button, doesn't expect him to hit another button. So he just drive rushes in, back throw. Now we're in the situation that everyone loves, and this situation doesn't change no matter what Ken you're playing against. There is always going to be a certain level of, even here, there's always going to be a certain level of float, right? Now, the way that Kaz might be looking to get out of the corner normal jump, but he's in the proper range to deal with it with DP. He could also try to dive kick off of this instance, but once again, DP will beat it, right? So his only option is to try and block out the situation and look for a normal to contest here. Look for a normal to contest this range here. You either have them blocked in normal into a drive rush, which he does, or he forces you a whiff and then he can whiff punish you. That's the whole point of staying at this range. This range allows you to control the pacing so well. That's why it's like this. Right? That's why he's keeping at this range. Fortunately, right? He didn't want to walk back off of this instance. Right? At this range, if he decides to walk here, guess whose feet he's going to get clipped? It's a very common option. Right? Didn't want his feet clipped, so decided to go for standing medium kick, so he was still in range. See? This is what I mean. You stand at that range in order to get that, right? So when your opponent tries to go for a normal, you just get caught. See what I mean? Right out of range. Boom. Now he's in a bad situation. The only thing he has access to is level 1. Doesn't want to pop level 1 immediately, but it apparently does. Reason why he wants to be careful about popping level 1 is that he doesn't want to get stunned, right? Fortunately, he got that hit. It's all very static. Drive rush jab, throw into the corner. Once again, we're in a corner. Now he's waiting for an option that he can whiff punish. It keeps. Ooh, that was sweaty. That right there is sweaty. I'm not gonna lie. Recognizing that it's a counter hit and going for a thing here is sweaty. It's the beautiful thing. Getting the PC into level 2 is sweaty, and it's a beautiful thing. But that's basically where the excitement ends, you know. And I wish, like, I can truly feel like. The main problem I have right now is that it just doesn't feel like I have agency over my actions. It feels like I'm trapped. But the other thing is that I've always liked games with a little bit more movement. Right? Street Fighter, when it comes to movement, is absolutely terrible. So your jumps are super committal, your dashes are super committal, so you're forced to pretty much walk every situation out. Right? The only time you're really dashing is when you knock them down and you want to get some sort of setup. That's really the only times where we're really dashing. See, he dashed there. Generally, most of the time you're gonna be walking, right? And some people might like just walking around the entire time, but the thing is that it can be very limiting and stifling when it comes to play. Nice. Get a drink. It's not. It's losing. It's definitely losing its like excitement factor as of right now. See what I mean? Drive rush jab didn't fall for it because he decided not to tech or go for any sort of option. And we're in a corner. We're all hoping he doesn't get thrown. Level 2. Tried to go for throw, got blown up for it. And that's the other thing, like command grabs have such a so punishable. Normal throws are just preferable in a lot of cases, right? Let's say he went for normal throw, he could cross-cut DP and kill him. It just feels like, yeah, it's like, why go for a command throw if command throw will literally like get you boomed? Now that said, I do play a command throw character and I would still go for a command throw all together. But either way, it just kind of feels like Jamie does this thing, you must do this thing. The way they designed them, they didn't design them in a way that felt more dynamic. They designed them in a way that felt very set in their ways, so that it makes it easier for well, the basic consumer to digest. When the content creators make their content, this is how you play Jamie. You don't deviate from that, you'll do well. Right? This is what you press to check drive rush. This is what you press to anti-air. Yes, you have other options to anti-air, but this is what you do. If you deviate from it, you might find more struggles. Notice how the same buttons getting pressed in the same situation, the same. Doesn't matter between these two characters. They're both doing drive rush jab. Attacking the situation, they're both going for it. Right? That's what I mean by it's just like, maybe you're right. Maybe I've lost passion for the game, but that's kind of where the game is at right now, right? I don't know if adding something else will. I don't know if adding a mechanic is going to change the way this game functions. They're set on having it done like this. I agree with a lot of people who say I hope City of the Wolves changes the opinion on number one defense. The last few games that have come out, they kind of punish you for blocking. Now, granted, I ain't gonna say that City of the Wolves don't punish you for blocking, but there are ways that give you agency. That's the most important part. Right now, it feels like on defense, it's like, am I becoming? It's a gamble. It's a let's go gambling. Am I becoming one of them? I'm not gonna lie. Like either way, like you'll have to guess. But the thing is that I don't know. I keep comparing it to City of the Wolves, but that's just mainly because like when I play City of the Wolves, like the type of mix I want to go for, I can go for it. If I want to go for empty jump low, like I don't know. I don't know. It's a weird feeling. I don't know. I don't know. It strikes me as not dynamic. When I watch like two Hotarus play, yes, they're gonna do some similar things, but you start to see their stylistic changes when it comes to how they guard cancel, how they go for hops into lows, whether or not they go for safe jumps or not. Right? And then when it comes to safe jumps in this game, there's not really much you can do. Even if you perfect parry the situation, there's not really much you can do. Nice backdash. Oh, it's not gonna kill. But he gets one guess. Oh. Alright. Nice DP. It just feels like this game could be much more, you know what I mean? But I get that. I think the only thing that is the same when it comes to these games is that like movement ain't really a thing. Walking back and forward is the flavor of the month, right? Yes, granted, I'd probably say the level of whip punishing is probably maybe the highest in these types of games, but when it comes to like creativity or different range of options to get out of stuff, I say that's where this game is lacking. And I think that's where a lot of people like, they love combos. That's another thing with this game. Combos in this game are medium, heavy, drive rush, medium, heavy, or heavy, drive rush, heavy, drive rush, heavy, level 3. special move level 3. You know? It doesn't give you that flavor. Right? It doesn't give you that thing in order to mix up and vary your combos. That too. You do things a set way. Like, you know? Like for JB combos, we'll go for like heavy punish counter, dash, crouching heavy punch, standing medium punch, crouching heavy punch, driver, standing medium punch, crouching heavy punch, palm, double 3, you know? Same thing with Ryu, going for standing heavy punch, drive rush, standing heavy kick, standing heavy punch, drive rush, standing heavy punch or standing heavy kick into crouching heavy punch, DP super. You know what I mean? Like it's same thing with Akuma. You got a crazy question? Go for it, man. I'm here for the crazy. My thing about Kim combos is that when it comes to Kim combos, yes, they're different, but they feel as though when you do them, the varying degree of scaling you accrue is kind of insane. Why aren't we streets? Put me on? You know, that is true. But I'm probably going to be streaming City of the Wolves tomorrow. Number one, SF is where I'm at. Honestly, I'm kind of waiting till, if I'm being honest with y'all, I'm kind of like, you'll start to see me start posting more consistently and everything again once I'm gonna take this hitbox off my lap. I don't think I'm gonna be playing. I'm gonna start I'm gonna start pumping out the Street Fighter content and everything all over again when season 3 hits. Right now it's kind of, the main thing is that it's stale. The other thing, the reason why I'm streaming this right now is more so just because, you know, I kind of want to hang out with my community. I know most of my community is on this game still, so, you know, I want to hang out with my community still. So I don't mind that, right? I don't mind playing a little bit. Well, honestly, even before then, I wasn't really playing much. If you notice, sometimes during season 2, some of my streams, like I would literally play maybe like sometimes 30 minutes, sometimes 45 minutes of games, and then I was just like, okay, I'm off. Some people say, oh, just try a different character, like, you know what I mean? Like, the thing is that, number one, I'm a character loyalist. I do dabble a little bit with the some of the different characters. Number one, I'm a character loyalist, so I stick to the characters that I decide to play. Number two, even with the characters that I do play on part-time, right? Play a little bit of my part-time, play a little Jamie part-time, right? I can even play a little bit of Ryu part-time. But the thing is that for me, it just feels like, a little empty. Koji, are you interested in City of the Wolves? It's definitely quite the fun game, bro. Quite the fun game. It gives you room to do things, right? Here, you notice there's a lot of walking, right? Let me see if let me actually put on let me put on like yesterday's stream. So like for instance, this would be yesterday, right? When you get started, like it gets started. Like you get that person in the corner, it's party time, right? You can run at your opponent, you can stop your dashes early, anti-airs do damage. You can do like 40, granted you need the resources, but you can do like anywhere between 40 and 50% off of these touches. You got a jet. Had a lot of fun hating on SF, you know what I mean? Can't wait to get home and play it. Nah, I disagree, bro. Right? You got setups, right? There are things, different things that you can do, not just whiff button into meaty button, right? When you dash, it gives you extra range, so you have more forward movement. When you're on defense, right, you're not just stuck, right? You're not limited to only one version of roll, right? You actually have 4 different rolls. You have a short roll forward, a long roll forward. You have a short roll back and a long roll back, right? After you're in this situation, okay, get hit here, right? I get hit here. Boom, I hit the ground, right? I can either decide to wake up DP. I could wake up, try to just defense, aka parry. I could roll forward, get out of the situation as a whole, and now he's on his head. Now he has the same option when he's on but he's gonna die here. Here comes the combos. Now I'm not gonna say that supers are super cool, because obviously SF supers are 2 years old and all that stuff, right? But when you're playing this game, it feels like, okay, I see what's happening, I understand what's happening, right? Look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that. Another thing that happens with this game is that how the connection on the game lag wise is not terrible. I won't say that it's on SF's level, but I think it's slightly below that, right? Slightly below that, if I were to be honest with you. So let's look at this situation here, right? This is akin to doing Fireball Drive Rush, right? One thing to note, okay, when they go for this option here, I just defended. Look at my health. When I just defend a fireball, I get a little bit of health back, right? So if you look here, when I block it, you see how it's not a lot, right? But it increases. If you look at that section, it increases. Why is this important? This is important because if you can't just sit back in zone, because if you sit back in zone, it'll be fairly easy. I play Ken, I'm listening. If you just sit back in zone the entire time, then you're just giving your opponent health. So it incentivizes your opponent to at some point interact with you. So in Street Fighter, this situation is significantly different. So when you're playing Street Fighter, if your opponent decides to just simply throw a fireball, yes, you can try and... Who has a good fireball to do that? If your opponent decides to just throw a fireball in neutral, right? Even if they decide to do that, even if you try to tap parry off of the instance, right? Because you're not even sure whether you'll get this parry or not, because the timing for it is so small, you're not even truly sure whether you're gonna get it. But if you zone like this, or you zone with whatever fireball you have, right, and perfect parry gives you health, it prevents the player from being able to just sit here and just do this the entire time, right? So it forces an interaction. It forces your opponent to play the mid-range with you, which more than half the cast is already mid-range already, right? So all the mid-range characters pretty much play out here. Most of them are mid-range anyway, and it just depends on which person has the better fireball, right? So it just completely changes up the dynamic of the game. However, when you're playing City of the Wolves, it forces interaction. Top of which, in this game, when you dash, is a commitment. You can't stop in the middle of it. Whatever you do is a super commitment, right? Whenever you dash is a commitment. In City of the Wolves, when you dash, you can block almost immediately, or 12 frames after you dash, so you don't even have to wait till the full dash is over with, right? When you go for the option, you're not just stuck. And that's kind of the important part, right? I can zone to kind of bait out an interaction. I also have hops to make jumping a little bit harder, right? Or sorry, to make anti-airing a little bit harder. This is what I mean by a character expression, right? In, let's say we're in SF. If I go for the string, right? Let's say I'm jury with the standing medium punch that's plus. I want to go standing medium punch, crouching medium punch, right? Namely, because if you go to standing medium punch and you try to walk standing medium punch, the pushback on each normal is going to push you further and further out. But because you can cancel outside of your dash, it gives you more mobility in these situations. So what I can decide to do here is that I can go for my standing medium punch, dash standing medium punch, dash standing medium punch, right? I can get in your face and keep in your face. Obviously, you have answered to this using your parry system, but this is the difference that I'm talking about, right? And then when he tries to press here, he gets hit. So it's like, where should I take my turn versus where I shouldn't? How does the run mechanic work? The run is pretty much, well, not the same thing, but run is like a typical game where you have a dash, an infinite dash. So when you run, you just literally just run across. You don't have as much freedom in motion as you do as a dash. But the thing is that, so like a dash, your dash forward can get checked, but it's overall not a terrible option or a terrible version, right? Characters that have runs are still pretty good, because a lot of people will kind of run stop, but you have the decision to either run full send. Everyone can be a Ken, but the thing is if you try to run at your opponent and do fireball, you do a fireball run into your opponent, you can check them for it. Combos are like super swaggy in this game, right? Like, check these out. 4 days ago, probably the latter half gets you the real good ones. Terry's in this game. This is where Terry's from. This is where Terry's from. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. You see what I mean? Like, you could go crazy. Like, look, it's not done yet. You see what I mean? Like, son, you can go wild. Ugh. You know what I mean? Now, granted, all of those combos do require 2 bars of meter, right? Full stacks of meter, but it gives you the freedom to make that decision. Top of which, SPG allows you something that's similar to so while your health is within this SPG range, it gives you access to something akin to DI. No, brother. Who's gonna tell him? Who's gonna tell him, brother? Number 1, DLC for season 1 is free. On top of which, this guy is main cast. He is part of the main cast. Did we get anything free? Did we even get costumes that are not free for an entire year? For an entire year, by the way. I'm just saying. But anyways, back to this. Let's put this back on. I'm just saying, right? At the end of the day, there are, like, when I tell you it's, but what I'm gonna say though, Goji, it's a learning curve, right? It's a learning curve. But honestly, City of the Volt is vibes. It works out for all members, right? It works out for everyone.
It gives something cool for the casuals to get into, but it also leaves a lot of room for depth for the sweats and the tryhards. That's what the beauty is in it. That's where the beauty is. Now, when I was talking about that pressure, right? Dash, standing C, dash, standing C, dash, standing C into a crouch C check, right? This is the equivalent. Stand jab, stand jab, stand jab. Driver, stand jab, stand jab, stand jab. Fun. Smile. Smile. You see what I mean? Like it kind of, you know, it's I'm not gonna hate too hard because it got a lot of people into the game. It got a lot of people into fighting games. Street Fighter has a lot of good things going for it, but once you get to a certain level, you're kind of like, eh. And he didn't even level 3. But this is what I mean by combo: standing heavy punch, a standing heavy kick, standing heavy punch. You see what I mean? This is exactly what I was talking about earlier. Standing heavy kick, standing heavy punch, standing heavy kick, crouching heavy punch. You know what I mean? Donkey kick, DP, level 3, missed a level 3. Strike throw, he tried to go for DP, got blocked. Yikes. All I want is for the world to kind of open up a little bit more, you know what I mean? I get it, it's cool. The game, I'm not saying the game doesn't have sauce. No, I'm actually saying the game don't have sauce. The game has developed to a point where it's sauceless. God, I don't like the fact that I'm becoming anti-SF, bro. That's generally what happens. That's honestly one of the main reasons why during like the last 2 years, granted we haven't had too many games come out, but I tried not to play. Yeah, that was pretty good. I tried not to play other fighting games. Because when I start playing other fighting games, it's like, yeah. Nice. But hey, you know, the most important part is that if you enjoy SF, please enjoy SF. Don't let the ramblings of this old man get to you. You know what I mean? I just be chatting the chat. You feel me? Sponsor stream. You making a case for me to cop that game? Listen. Is Guilty Gear similar to City of the Wolves? No. No. It is not similar to City of the Wolves. However, the most it's similar is the fact that it has relatively high damage. So a lot of the cast is killing in anywhere between 2 to 3 interactions, depending on the hits. Naturally, if you get 3 clean hits, you're dead. But a lot of it is like, number 1, mitigating your risk. Number 2, taking your turn back using just defense options and using like hyper defense. Hyper defense is a little bit different, but hyper defense is good. Why? Because what hyper defense is similar to a parry system. But you know how in SF, if you're in block stun, you can't press anything? That is what is like. Hyper defense allows you to get essentially adjust defense while in block stun, or get a parry while in block stun. So you're not just stuck in a situation where you can't do anything if they're forcing you to be on block. Now, but the thing also is that it has its backsides. Its backsides being that when can you press? Listen, think about this. You can press on defense. You can press in block stun. Think about that. You know what I mean? Definitely give it a try. If you're on Steam, give it the old 2-hour try. If you're on PC, if you know, you know. But you could also, you know, activate your inner One Piece. Give it a try and then give it buy the full thing after you've kind of One Pieced it up. You know?
Give it the old One Piece try if you will. You know what I mean? You give it the old One Piece try, you get to feel it out. You know what I mean? You get to feel it out. You like it, cool, rock with it. You don't like it, sell it. Right? Key point is to get games that you like. But a lot of people play like more so what's popular. We gotta get out of that mindset. You know, it's funny because I kind of did that with Street Fighter. Street Fighter, like I started with MKX. I really did love playing MKX. I did love playing in like NRS games. Then I wanted to branch out a little bit. I decided to start branching out, and I found out that there's a whole world of combat outside of how NRS does things, right? And when you bring those other skills that you learned originally from a different game, it kind of opens your eyes and lets you play a little bit better in the new game. Helps you adapt, helps you get better, right? You don't get better by staying in your box. And I think that's one of the biggest thing about SF players is that they stay in their box. They don't really go, oh my goodness, they don't really go anywhere. They stay within their box. They don't try different things. I always encourage you to try different fighting games. And I don't know, I'm talking about no UFC or nothing. I'm talking about like actual fighting games. Try an NRS game. Try it, you know. Listen, brother. You know, my reptile was something. My Ermat was something. My Triborg was something. I'll tell you what. You know what I mean? Having those options is great. It makes you feel like you're not tied down to a singular game the entire time, you know? And there's always something to learn in these games, right? There's always something to take away, right? I think one of the biggest takeaways from SF that I could take with me wherever game I decide to play is just learning how to be patient, learning how to simply just walk, right? Learning how to walk in and out of spaces. Spacing, you know what I mean? Putting yourself in the correct space to anti-air. These types of things are very important, right? Especially if you want to be semi-decent, right? Knowing where to stand to bait out your opponent. Understanding behaviors when you stand at a certain range. Some opponents going to notice the fact that you're standing at a range to anti-air them. So then they're going to kind of play that in between game. That's when you can walk up on them, use your normals in order to do so, right? These are things that you learn along this game. One of the things that I really want to take away from City of the Wolves is being able to DP on command. Right now I use DP shortcuts, but in City of the Wolves, my DP shortcuts don't work. So I have to DP normally. One of the things I took away from playing Dragon Ball FighterZ is being able to crouching heavy punch, right? That's also why my crouching heavy punch rate on a normal day is very high, right? I'm probably missing maybe 2 or 3 of them an entire set, right? There's a high amount. That's because Super Dash was kind of ridiculous, and if you didn't have that skill, then you got cooked, right? You take away different skills from playing different fighting games. This correlates to this game because a crouching heavy punch for quite a few cast members is a solid anti-air and it has anti-air properties. So now it makes it harder for them to jump on me. Either way though, you know, all you gotta do is enjoy the game that's in front of you. You know what I mean? If SF is the game that you want to enjoy SF. It's a dynamic experience to be going through this. Like I said, what I'm gonna do is that I'm waiting for. Oh no, he didn't get thing. What I'm waiting on. Oh, he got here.
What I'm waiting on personally is literally season 3. So you're gonna see me be fairly inconsistent, just because I know, number one, City of Wolves content doesn't do too well. You're right, there is no modern controls, but there's something called smart controls. There's smart controls. There's not modern, but there's smart controls. So yes, there's options for you there as well. Oh, and might I add, there's also color edit. What is color edit, you may ask? It's the ability to change the costume or outfit to whatever you would like it to be. So however you want to style your character with colors, you can do so. So even if there isn't a lot of skins, there is a variety insofar as how you want to style your character with colors. Isn't that great? Oh, he's dead. Oh no, he messed up bad. He messed up bad. Yeah, there's color edit. There's color edit, there's movement, there's a whole bunch of things. Right now, we're gonna just kind of coast a month. Once the thing drops, we'll get active again. You'll see a lot more content from me and Nexus mods. You can style your character however you want to. Nexus mods. But yeah, that's basically how you can enjoy the game. You know what I mean? What time is it? 11:30. All right, I want to go play some Obscure 33 off stream. Gentlemen, I will see you tomorrow. We'll probably play some City of the Wolves. Maybe start off on Street Fighter, but we'll have to see. Pleasure hanging out with y'all. You know what I mean? Pleasure as always. Now, with that said, I'll get to see you guys tomorrow. We're gonna get active again once season 3. Right now we're in the dry spell, but don't worry. We'll make it through this dry spell and then we'll be cooking right afterwards. Off to Obscure 33. See you guys tomorrow.